is a maritime nation blessed with over 7,600 islands and one of the richest marine ecosystems in the world. From coastal villages to bustling cities, our seas provide food, livelihood, and identity. To manage and protect our marine resources, the Philippines has established a set of laws and policies. The cornerstones of these is the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998 or the Republic Act 8550, which is later amended by the Republic Act 10654 in 2015. The Philippine Fisheries Law serves as a comprehensive legal framework for the conservation, management, development, and sustainable use of our country's fisheries and aquatic resources. This law applies to all Philippine waters and even extends to our exclusive economic zone, which is a vast area where our government has sovereign rights to explore and manage marine resources.
Good day, so I'm Shaina May Imabia from VSFI3. So today we'll take a closer look at Section 1 of Fisheries Administrative Order number 155 series of 1986, which defines what is meant by a fine mesh net. So according to Section 1 of 155, it is defined that mesh net means all nets or weavings, whether made of natural fibers, synthetic materials, or any other kind that are used for fishing. So with a mesh size of less than 3 centimeters. So as what you see in the picture, it is less than 3 centimeters of a mesh net. Now, what does that mean exactly? So, when the mesh size is measured between two opposite knots of a full mesh when the net is fully stretched, if the distance between those two knots is less than 3 centimeters, the net is classified as a fine mesh net. These nets with such small mesh sizes often catch juvenile fishes. So, these fishes that have not yet matured or reproduced, while using these nets can severely affect the fishes and the population and the long-term effects of our marine resources. So, in short, a fine mesh net is any fishing net with mesh sizes opening smaller than 3 centimeter. So, this measurement is taken when the net is fully stretched from knot to its opposite knot. So, it is very essential to know these fine mesh nets because it forms as a basis for the regulation and enforcement of sustainable fishing practices here in our country, the Philippines. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. Today, let's talk about an important regulation that helps protect our fisheries resources in the Philippines. Fisheries Administrative Order number 155, series of 1986, specifically Section 2, which deals with the use of fine mesh nets. Under Section 2 is the prohibition. So, in this section, it makes it unlawful for anyone, whether a person, association, corporation, partnership, or cooperative, to fish in the Philippine waters using the fine mesh net. But why it is important? Fine mesh nets catch not only adult fish, but also the young ones, including fry and fingerlings, which are essential for the future of our fish populations. If we catch too many young fish, there won't be enough left to grow and reproduce, leading to declining fish stocks and threatening the livelihoods of our fishing communities. So, in short, these fine mesh nets is prone to overfishing and bycatching. And if you're asking for an exemption or exception, are they an exception? Of course, yes. There is exception. There is a few important exceptions to this rule, to this prohibition. The prohibition does not apply when catching certain species that are either naturally small or are specifically needed for aquaculture or ornamental purposes. These include the padas, sigadine, bangus fry or the chanus chanus, the sugpo fry, penede, and also the banak fry, the magilidae, glass eels, and elvers, the angelidae, and ipon, the goblidae. Second is the marine aquarium or the ornamental fisheries or the ornamental fishes. And then the third one is other but already mature species such as the alamang, Acete spp, tabio sinarapan, the Mystichthys luzonensis, dilis, Engrualidae, the dulong, Engrualidae, and gobidae, hipon, tagunton, caridae, and certain snails, Ampullaria, luzonica, and vivipara species. And so, what about the certain fishing gears? There's also a special provision for certain types of fishing gear. The prohibition on the fine mesh nets does not apply to purse seines, ring nets, and bag nets as long as they use a mesh size of at least 1.9 centimeters or 17 knots. This exemption will remain until the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources or BIFAR develops and implements new rules for the appropriate mesh size for each type of fishing gear. So, why do we have this rule? So this rule, the main goal is to protect our fishery resources. By controlling the use of fine mesh nets, we help to ensure that young fish have a chance to grow and reproduce, supporting the sustainability of our fisheries for the future generation. So, fine mesh nets are generally prohibited in the Philippines water. The only exemption exists for certain small or mature species and for specific fishing gears with regulated mesh size. These rules help conserve Philippine population and support the livelihood of Filipino fishers or the fisher folk of.
Good day everyone. My name is Lijawati B. Kahal. So, our topic is all about the Fisheries Administrative Order number 155 series of 1986. So, regulating the use of fine mesh nets in fishing. In Section 3, transitory provision persons, associations, corporations, partnership, or cooperatives engage in fishing with use of nets with mesh size of 2.00 to 2.99 shall be given a grace to a period of 1 year from the effectively of this order within which to conform and or comply with this order. The purpose of this provision is to help affected fishers or fishing groups gradually transition to the new requirements without facing immediate penalties. It also ensures that they have enough time to modify their fishing gears, especially since smaller mesh size often catch juvenile fish and catch harm fish population in the long run. For example, if a fish corporation is using nets a mesh size of 2.5 centimeter, they are allowed to continue using them for up to 1 year from effectively of the order. After that period, they must comply by using the correct size mesh as required by the new rules.
So good day. My name is Shaima Lejamura. So our topic is Fisheries Administrative Order or FAO number 155 series of 1986. So this series pertains to the regulation of the use of fine mesh nets in fishing within the Philippine waters. So by using this fine mesh net less than 3 centimeters, so the penalty or violation of the prohibition in this section 2 of the order is subject to fine ranging from 500 to 4,000 pesos or imprisonment from 6 months to 4 years. So, what do we mean by repealing clause? So, when Fisheries Administrative Order or FAO number 155 series of 1986 state that FAO number 40, 40.1 to 40.4 were repealed or replaced by this order, it means that these earlier Fisheries Administrative Order are no longer in effect and are no longer legally binding. So, like for example, di ba, yung mga earlier laws such as yung mga FAO number 40 to 40.4 were in place or napalitan sila. So, this order likely contains regulation and rules related to fisheries. Like for example, yung FAO number 155 was issued as a new law. So, yung repealing clause within FAO number 155 specifically declares that the old laws, like FAO 40 series, are now cancelled or revoked. So, that's all. Thank you.
Section 6, Effectivity of Fisheries Administrative Order number 155 series of 1986 states that the order will become effective 15 days after its publication in the Official Gazette and or in 2 newspaper of general circulations. This means the rules and regulations outlined in the order do not take immediate effect upon signing or issuance. Instead, there is a mandatory waiting period to ensure that the public is properly informed. The order is considered legally binding and enforceable only after this 15 days period has elapsed following its publication. For FAO number 155, the order was published on August 25, 1986, making its official effectivity date September 10, 1986. Thank you.